What's up guys, Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp extension tutorial for you. So in this video we're going to talk about how to create an exploded view animation with the extension Animator. So before I get started, today's video is brought to you by the SketchUp Essentials course. The SketchUp Essentials course is a course that I put together to give kind of a start to finish training in SketchUp. So everything from the basic tools and functions in SketchUp all the way through modeling for interior design, modeling for layout, and an introduction to photorealistic rendering. So if you're looking for some kind of start to finish SketchUp training, you want to get a little bit more in depth, make sure you check that out at TheSketchUpEssentials.com/course. Now let's go ahead and just jump into it. So I've talked in the past about using Animator to create different kinds of animations in SketchUp. So this is Fredo 6's animation plugin, and I will link to that in the notes down below, as well as to libfredo, which is his basically his software library that you need to have installed in order for his extensions to work. But one of the things I haven't really focused on very much is using the exploded view options within animators. So model credit for this 3D warehouse model is the wooden clock with digital indication by Oleg Shepetko. So you can find that on the 3D warehouse. I will link to that in the notes down below as well. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the extension Animator in order to create an animation where this kind of explodes into its different parts and pieces. And so the way that we're going to do that is, first of all, you're going to turn Animator on. And then you're going to come in here and you're going to click on the clip editor. And so when you click on the clip editor, that's going to pop up all of this animation information around the edge. And so that's how we're going to edit and create our scene. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to add a movement. So we're going to come in and we're going to click under the Insert section. We're going to click this first button. And we're going to go to New Movement. And so when we go to New Movement, what that's going to do is that's going to pop up a series of options that are going to allow us to select what kind of movement we want to add in our model. And so we've talked about a bunch of these. Translation lets you move things back and forth. You can also rotate and scale things. Well, in this case, what we want to do is we want to go over to the button for Explosion. And so when we click on Explosion, then it's going to ask us to select objects. And so with Explosion selected, what you're going to do is you're going to mouse over this object. You're going to click on it, and you're going to find whatever the overall component is. So in this case, this is just in here as component 1. And so we're just going to select component 1. And so once we've selected component 1, you'll get this blue box around here indicating that you selected this. And you need to be careful that you select the most overall one in your outliner. So whatever the object is that contains all of your geometry is the one you want to select. Otherwise, you won't be able to explode everything in here. But once we've done that, and this is selected, you can see how this gives us an option for an explosion factor. And so what the explosion factor does is that allows us to set how far apart you want all these pieces to go. So you can see how if I kind of rotate around this a little bit, you can kind of take a look at this and figure out exactly how far apart you want these pieces to be. And one thing that I think is a little limiting here, it's not too bad, but this will just explode based on the center point of your object. So you can't really set what point this explodes around, which isn't the end of the world, but it is a little bit of a limitation. So you can see how I can drag this as far as I want to drag this. So in this case, you can also click on this and type in a value. So I could type in a value of 3. And then once you have this kind of exploded the way you want it to be, then you can go in here and you can click this green circle to save the sequence and exit. And it's going to ask you to name that sequence. And in this case, we're just going to call it Explosion 1. And I'm going to click OK. Well, now, when you come back into your Animator menu, you can see how there's a blue bar over here in your timeliner. You can see how there's a blue object over here in your bar that indicates your time and your clips. And so if you were to click this play button, then you can see how this is going to animate that movement. So you can see how everything animates out. And you can click in here to go to different time points. So, and then if you click on that, you're going to get this menu that allows you to edit things about this clip. So you could edit the duration. So if you wanted to make this longer, you could do that. You could adjust how fast the acceleration happens. You can adjust a lot of different things in here. Well, in this case, what I want to do is I want to create a copy of this that allows us to animate it coming back together. And so in order to do that, I'm just going to click on this clip to open up this menu, and you're going to select the option for copy selected elements to clipboard. And so I'm going to go ahead and click copy, and then if you look over here on the right, there's an option for paste elements from clipboard in the timeline. And so I'm going to go ahead and click paste. And so what that does is that gives me 2 copies of this animation in the same spot, which isn't exactly what I want. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to adjust the start time of my second one to 3 seconds. So I'm going to start this first one at 0 seconds, and it's going to have a duration of 3. Then I'm going to start this second one at 3 seconds, and it's going to have a duration of 3. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select this second animation option, and you're going to click this button right here to reverse the sequence. And so what that means is now in the second, you can see how this adds a little arrow in here, and in the second sequence, this is going to animate this coming back together. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to set my time to 0, and then I'm going to hit play. Well, what this is going to do is this is going to have a 3-second animation showing this exploding, and then a 3-second animation showing it coming back together. So you can see how you can animate these exploded views really easily using Animator. And so then the other thing I want to do is I also want to create a camera view flying around this. And so in order to do that, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to set the camera view that I like, and I'm going to click the option for Insert Camera in the timeline. But before I do that, I'm going to set my time. So you can use this button right here to go to a certain time. In this case, I'm going to set a time of 0. And then we're going to insert a camera view. And so we're just going to click on this camera and click New Camera. And we're just going to click the button for Capture Current View Camera. And then once we've done that, we'll just click the green button. And we'll just call this View 1. That's fine. So you can see how that now gets indicated in here. Well, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to set our time now to 3 seconds. So I'm just going to click Go to Time, and I'm going to set that to 3 seconds. And you can see how this shows what this is going to look like 3 seconds in. And then I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and rotate around a little bit so that I can kind of see everything within this animation. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert another camera view. So we're just going to click New Camera. And actually it looks like it kind of reset me to my original view, so we'll just have to navigate over here again. But in this case, we're going to set the view that we want. Then we'll just click the button for Capture Current View Camera again, and go ahead and click this green button. And then we're going to click OK. So now if we go in here and we set our timeline to 0 and we click play, you can see how this is actually going to have that camera rotation in here as a part of that. So, and then let's say at 6 seconds, we wanted another camera view. We'd set our time to 6 seconds. We'd insert one more camera, and then we'd rotate around to this back side with kind of whatever view we want, and then we'd capture that view and click the green button. So that'll be view 3. So you can see how you have 1, 2, 3 views over here in your time, or in your clip sequencer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this to 0, and then I'm going to click the play button. And what that's going to do is that's going to play my animation. And you can see how I get this full rotating view going around the back side of this using that animation. So using this as kind of building blocks, you can create a lot of different kinds of animations if you want to. So then the last thing I'm going to show you real quick is how to export this to an animation. So to export this to an animation, you're just going to go up and you're going to click on the little film clip icon right here, and that's going to allow you to set your animated view. So one thing to note, so I always kind of note this about Animator, is if you don't have a plugin installed right here, then you're only going to have the option for images sequence. And so what that means is this will only export this as a sequence of still images that you'll have to stitch together. But there should be some instructions in here to download a plugin that'll allow you to export actual videos. And so in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select MP4 for my video type. I'm going to look at my frame rate, and I'm going to leave it at 25 frames a second for right now. Remember, the more frames that are in here, the smoother your animation is going to be, but the larger your file size is. So if you look at the bottom, this tells you how many frames it's going to generate. Well, if I was to switch this to 30 frames per second, you can see how I'd have 181 frames as opposed to 151 at 25 frames per second. So you can also set your speed factor and also your dimensions of your video. And then once you're ready and you've got all this set, you can click Generate Video. And if you want to, you can click on Test Image first. So that'll export one image so you can see how large your animation is going to be. So in this case, this is the size that my animation is going to be. So once you're done with that, you can go ahead and click Generate Video, and it'll generate your frames. And you can see how it's going through in the background, and it's actually creating each frame and exporting it in the background. So this will probably take a couple minutes. This actually does a pretty good job of telling you how much time is probably left. So we'll just wait for that, and then we'll take a look at our animation. Alright, so once this is done, you can either open the folder where it put this, or you can click the play button to play your animation. So if you take a look at this, this kind of started off in my other window, but you can see how this animation is really coming together, and actually I really like how smooth this is. So this actually turned out really good. I think it's pretty cool. So, and you could do a few other things to this. You could like export this to a rendering program if you wanted to, but you can see the different options and the different possibilities of using something like this extension. So that's where I'm going to end today's video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Have you been using Animator? Did you know it could do something like this? I just love having that SketchUp conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. If you like what I'm doing in this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every little bit helps, even if it's only $1 a month. So make sure you check out that link in the notes down below. But in any case, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.